Hey, this is Blue Record Studio, episode 7. I'm Yeon Jung.
I'm Yoon Choi.
And I'm Insa Kim.
Okay, let's look at today's topic researched by Insa. August 2017, a deadly crackdown by the Myanmar military targeting the Rohingya Muslim minority group sent thousands of them to make off across the borders to Bangladesh.
This is not the first time for the Myanmar government to pose such a threat to the minority group. The start of the ethnic cleansing targeting the Rohingyas goes back to World War II, where each group supported opposing external forces. Later, in 1962, when the Myanmar dictator actively promoted nationalism using Buddhism, the Muslim Rohingyas were always singled out.
Then, in 1982, the government passed a Citizenship Act recognizing the 135 ethnic groups forming the country, but the Muslim group was not on the list, which made them become stateless people.
And along with frequent violence, there are many globally reckoned issues associated with this crisis. Human trafficking that killed hundreds, human rights issues, refugees crowded in Bangladesh camps. But there is one unusual connection that seems to have no relation with these refugees. Facebook. Let's first look at why Facebook has gone viral within Myanmar. When the military dominated the country, the outside influence was minimized, but when Aung San Suu Kyi became Myanmar's de facto leader, the government began to liberalize businesses. The telecom sector was highly influenced, price to afford phones, and the internet became highly accessible. And because Facebook is the only big online portal that supports Burmese text, everybody wanted to use it. The problem is that these people had little prior internet experience, which made them vulnerable to propaganda and misinformation. People do not know how to use the internet, how to filter the news, and how to use the internet effectively.
How about Facebook or any telecom companies? Have they done anything to mitigate this situation?
Nothing. Even worse, they did not reckon the potential of the internet to aggravate tensions between the ethnic groups. They weren't ready to grapple with the conflict inside the country. And now Facebook, something that we use every day to connect with our friends, has become weaponized. Inflammatory posts against the Rohingya people frequently appeared. There are more than 1,000 identified posts, comments, and pornographic images attacking these Muslim people. Some are extremely violent or graphic. The shocking part is that the country's military officials were behind in this hate prevalence. These posts led people not to even view the Rohingya people as people. It is certainly a way of dehumanizing a group.
Yes, I'm highly concerned. If this state continues and another genocide happens, they wouldn't even bother about it.
Exactly. And these online hate crimes have already led to murder, rape, and forced migration.
Wait, so I couldn't get who are the Rohingyas?
Oh, so Rohingyas is a Muslim minority group living in the edge of Myanmar. But currently they're not accepted as part of the Myanmar citizens. So this is becoming a problem.
But why would they not treat them as the citizens? Is there a particular reason for it?
So Myanmar is a Buddhist country.
Oh, right.
So it's because of a different religion?
Probably, yes.
So just because of a different religion, is that all?
Yeah, that's all. And
just because of that?
And there are also other historical problems that have happened in the past because they had different religions.
So you said that the new the de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi made all those all those phones accessible. Did he?
Well, we can say that yes. And first, it is she.
She?
Yes.
Did she develop the economy somehow?
So beforehand, the country was militarily dominated, and she was like the first democratic leader of the country. We can say that she have developed Myanmar economy a lot.
So the income rised, and that is the reason why so many people had more access to these technologies.
Not quite. So people did not have a raised income. So the price of the phones and the SIM cards has decreased, which made internet really accessible.
So through Facebook, they victimized the Rohingya group again, the Myanmar people.
So because the internet was highly accessible now, people started to like text about the Rohingya peoples. I was going to say that the government officials were leading people to talk about the Rohingya peoples and discriminating them.
So prior to these events, the citizens, like the other citizens, other than the Rohingya people, were not against the Rohingya people.
So were they against the Rohingya people even before the incident of this Facebook?
Even before the government's manipulation?
Yes, so there were consequently conflicts between the Rohingya peoples and the other Buddhist citizens. And as an internet was becoming highly accessible, people are starting to use the internet to discriminate them more.
Okay, so it's a tragedy to know that such hate is shared among people. I wonder, is it okay to blame Facebook for this incident? What would be the responsibility of a company for a situation like this?
I believe the characteristic of the app providing an easy strategy for communication isn't something that we should criticize, because this function is the main purpose of the app, despite the fact that it can bring a detrimental impact among people.
Yes, you're absolutely right. But the actions that the company should have taken were not successful in this case. One reason is the difficulty for the company to interpret certain words. Another reason is that Facebook users in Myanmar face difficulties reading Facebook's instructions to report worrying materials. And also, the company severely lacked Burmese speaking content monitors. Now there are more than 1,000 Burmese speakers, but in 2014, they had just one.
Wait, so is Burmese the language in Myanmar?
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
But there were some actions that they ensured doing it. They have established a team of product, policy, and operations experts to roll out better reporting tools, a new policy to tackle misinformation that has the potential to contribute to offline harm, and faster response times on reported content, and improved proactive detection of hate speech. They have also shown some visible actions. Facebook removed 18 accounts and 52 pages related to Myanmar officials. An account on Instagram, which Facebook owns, was closed as well. These accounts and pages were followed by nearly 12 million people.
He conceded that, and he said that they were going to hire more people to remove hate speech.
The spokeswoman of the company said it was not a decision we took lightly to delete the accounts. She stated that staying ahead of the bat means always looking for how people can misuse technology, and doing everything you can to prevent misuse from happening in the first place. She also added that these are their responsibilities now, and it is something that weighs heavily on all of us. However, some activists still think that the company had not done enough. Yue Fuyong, the founder of a free speech organization, Athen, says that there will not be a significant change. While it is still easy to create Facebook accounts with fake names, he asserts that the company should do more to prevent fake accounts from being created.
I definitely think we should consider more efforts to fix this misusage. Since we already know how much influence propaganda has had in world wars, it certainly looks menacing to have a combination of developing technology and the idea of propagandas altogether.
I certainly agree, but I'm curious about something. What are the government's roles in this issue? Can we blame the government for not imposing any regulations or actions to solve the media literacy problems in general?
The government had not done much in response, and there are surely other rising problems other than the denouncing of the Rohingyas due to their poor media literacy. To this, Lee Myat-du, a managing director of an information technology firm, Alpha Computer Mandalay, insisted that the government needs to take action to enforce better behavior online and prevent violence. But the truth to this Facebook incident is that the government itself is the assailant. As I said before, the New York Times reported that members of the Myanmar military have used Facebook as a tool in the government's campaigns of ethnic cleansing against the Rohingyas. And repeating what I said before, the Myanmar government had long endeavored to remove the Muslim minority group from their country.
So, did it actually work? I mean, the propaganda that the government established?
Partially, yes, it did. So people started to talk more about the Rohingyas and more crimes against these people occurred. It is surely a shame to watch social media acting as a weapon used in the genocide. So, quoting the former BBC media action employee Elizabeth Mearns, the happenings in Myanmar is just one example of a far wider issue. She says that, quote, "We are definitely now in a situation where content on social media is directly affecting people's real life. It is affecting the way people vote. It is affecting the way people behave towards each other, and is creating violence and conflict." About this problem, do you have any personal ideas?
I think we were fully aware of the negative consequences media have if the approach is identified to be inappropriate. Since the spread of the information is so quick, the intention of the uploader has a high chance of being achieved. I just want to say that the media has both positive and negative aspects, which are very contrary from each other. We can both save people's lives and harm them depending on the content that is being shared among the public. In this case, which you have brought, from the outcome of the event, we are able to see the inhuman aspect of humans. It is severely brutal.
I can't believe that the racial segregation is happening until now, in the 21st centuries.
Right.
Probably because poverty or lack of education is so common and citizens are not fully empowered to have a voice. In that sense, we must also provide as much support to the people who are the victims of these racial discrimination.
I certainly agree with both of you, and now living in an internet world, the international community should step up to further acknowledge the power of the media. It is also the responsibility of ours to act as a moral global citizen within the internet. Thank you everyone for listening. This was Blue Record.
Blue Record will be back soon
With another interesting
And worthy topic.